Okay, I'm having a look at a Year 9 quiz. This is our third quiz of the term, looking at some measurement and trigonometry questions. So the first one we've got is converting centimetres cubed to metres cubed. Now we know if we were going centimetres to metres, we would be dividing by 100, but because it's cubed, we need to divide by 100 cubed. Now we can put that straight into our calculator. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros there, so 25 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're dividing by 100, and we can use that power button to put to the power of 3 there. So that gives us 2.5 metres cubed. The next one we've got is 3.2 litres, and it's being converted to centimetres cubed. Now I know that 3.2 litres is the same as 3,200 millilitres, and then I know that my conversion for 1 millilitre is 1 centimetre cubed, so that's going to equal 3,200 centimetres cubed. Then we have some perimeter questions. So we've got a half circle here with a base of 14. So that means when we're working out the perimeter, we've got a half of pi d plus the d. So we've got a half times pi times 14, and then we're going to add 14 onto our answer. So we've got on our calculator 0.5 times pi times 14 is the 21.99, and then we're going to add 14 to our answer, and we get 35.99, which I'm just going to round to 36 centimetres there. For this one over here, we've got the half circle, but we've also got this rectangle added on. So when we do our perimeter, we've got the 5 plus the 12 plus the 5. So the sides plus the half circle. So we've got 5 plus 12 plus 5 plus a half pi times 12. So the 5 plus the 12 plus the 5 is going to be the 22, and then we've got 0.5 times pi times 12 gives us 18.85. Add that to the 22, and we get 40.85, and that is metres for that question. Over here we've got a sector of a circle. Now our area for that, because we're finding the area, is going to be theta over 360 pi r squared. Our radius is 7, so we've got 300, because we've been told our angle is 300, over 360 pi times 7 squared. And we can put that all in one go in our calculator. So pressing our fraction button, we've got 300 over 360. And then we are multiplying by pi times 7 squared. And we get 128.28. And that will be centimetres squared. Now this one here, we've got surface area. Now I've made this one a little bit of a trick to it, because we are not given the length of this side here. But we know Pythagoras theorem, assuming that this is a right angle there, so we can find out that side length. So I'm going to do that to start with, so that I've got that measurement ready to go. So I've got c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So we've got 8 squared plus 12 squared. Grabbing my calculator. So that would be 64 plus 144 gives me 208. I've got the square root of that. Gives me 14.42. And so then I'm going to use that when I do my surface area. So for my surface area, I've got my two triangles at the front and the back. So 2 times a half base times height. Then I have the bottom, the back, and the front of that shape. So I've got length width plus length width plus length width. So I've got 2 times a half times 8 by 12. Then I've got the bottom, which is 8 by 5. And then I've got the back, which is 5 by 12. And I've got that front slopey side that's going to be 5 by 14.2. And so when I work that out, so 2 times a half is just 1. Then we've got my 8 times 12 is going to give me 96. Plus 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 5 times 12 is 60. And then I've got the 5 times 14.2 gives me 71. And I'll add those numbers up. 96 plus 40 plus 60 plus 71. And I will get 267. and that will be centimetres squared for that one. Turning on to the back, we've got two volume questions. So we've got a cylinder, volume equals pi r squared times height. So I've got pi times, now my radius here is 1.5. 1.5 squared times 20. So popping that straight into my calculator. Pi times 1.5 squared times 20 gives me 141.37, and that will be centimetres cubed. Over here I have a diamond shape, so my volume is going to be the area of base times height. My area is the half xy, and I'm multiplying that by the height or depth of that shape. So I've got a half times 6 times 21, because that's the internal dimensions for that diamond, and then I'm multiplying it by the 3 for the depth. So that gives me 189, and that will be centimetres cubed. Then I've got two plain Pythagoras theorem questions. So I've got c squared equals a squared plus b squared. I need to label my triangle with the ABC. So I've got A, B, C. I'll do this one while I've got the blue pen in my hand. A, B, C. So then I've got x squared is equal to 19 squared plus 15 squared. So I'll grab my calculator. 19 squared plus 15 squared is going to give me 586. So my x squared is 586. So my x is going to be the square root of 586. And that gives me 24.2. And that will be centimetres. Then over here, I'll write my c squared equals a squared plus b squared again. And then I've got my c is 20 squared is equal to 15 squared plus x squared. 20 squared is 400. 15 squared is 225. So to get my x squared, I need to do 400 take 225. And I get 175. Then my x is the square root of 175. Which gives me an answer of 13.22, and that will be metres. Then I've got the distance between 2 points, so I'm going to use my distance formula, which is the square root of y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. So I've got the square root of 2 take away 9 squared plus 5 take away 2 squared. Now 2 take away 9 is negative 7. When I square negative 7, I get 49. 5 take away 2 is 3. When I square 3, I get 9. So I've got the square root of 49 plus 9. The 49 plus 9 is 58. Square root of 58 is 7.6. And we don't have any units there, so we can just write units. And then the last ones we have are our trig questions with our trig ratio. So I'm going to label my triangles first. So I'm looking where this angle is. I know my hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. My side that's nearest that angle is the adjacent, and then I've got my opposite there. So here I've got my hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite, and here I've got an x there for the angle. So my adjacent is here, hypotenuse, opposite. Now looking here, when I'm starting a question, I'm looking at what I have with those AOH, and I've got with A and O. So that means I'm going to do tan theta equals opposite over adjacent. So tan of 40 is equal to x over 8. So then I'm going to multiply by 8. So 8 tan 40 is equal to x. I'll work that out on my calculator. 8 tan 40. And that gives me 6.7. And I've been told that's centimetres. So over here, I've got the H and I've got the A. So that means I'm going to be using cos. So I'm going to write that up here. Cos theta equals A over H. So I'm then going to put that in. I've got cos of 50 is equal to 4 over x. Now that x is on the bottom, so that means I'm able to make them switch sides. So x is equal to 4 over cos of 50. So I'll grab my calculator. 4 divided by cos of 50 gives me 2.57. And that is meters. Now my last one here is finding an angle. So I'm going to look what ratio first, which is sine. So I'm going to write my sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So I've got sine x is equal to 7 on 11. So then to get my x, I'm going to do sine to the negative 1 of 7 on 11. So on my calculator, I'm doing that second sine, 7 over 11. And I'm going to get 39.52 degrees. Okay.